Hello there, welcome to this pick a card reading for the week of August the 23rd until the 29th. We have a massive week this week astrologically. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of shifts, a lot of changes. It's going to be an action-packed week for everybody. We're shifting out of Leo season on the 23rd, so on Wednesday. We move out of Leo season. Now, Leo has been a heightened season this year because it's had the Venus retrograde there, and Venus will continue to be in retrograde there until September 4th. So we're still under that Venetian energy, but the sun is moving out of Leo and moving into Virgo. So we begin Virgo season. So we're going to be engaging in a more Virgoan kind of atmosphere. On the same day, Mars, who is in Virgo, will make an opposition to Neptune in Pisces. That's going to bring tension. It will bring changes to our perception may come up like immediately when the sun moves into Virgo. But on the next day, the very next day, on August the 24th, on Thursday, Mercury will move retrograde in Virgo as well. Now, this is significant. It's a really important transit. It's a really important Mercury retrograde because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, and also Mercury is in exaltation in Virgo. So Mercury is at its most powerful in the sign of Virgo. And so when Mercury does a retrograde there, this is the most powerful retrograde we can have. It's a really powerful time for making positive, productive, supportive changes to your thought habits, to your unconscious programming, to your belief systems, your perception, because Mercury rules our mind, it rules our focus, and our focus is our number one most powerful creative tool. It is the tool we use to create our reality. So this is a really creative transit to engage in when you're trying to create the reality that you desire. Now, I have done a separate video on the Mercury retrograde, and that goes into incredible amounts of detail around what a Mercury retrograde is and how we can use it. So what the benefits are to working deliberately with the Mercury retrograde energy, being conscious at this time and utilizing this energy in your life for the purpose of creating your reality, using it as a creative tool. So there's a lot of information in that video, and there's an individual tarot card reading for each zodiac sign, so go and check that out. I'll link it down below. And then over the weekend, so on Sunday, the sun will make an opposition with Saturn as well. The sun in Virgo will oppose Saturn over in Pisces, again bringing that tension to the, like, so there's changes, there's signs of what we need to overcome, basically is what I'm trying to say. We're going to have this week a lot of information come to us about what obstacles and what challenges and what blocks are in our way for us to overcome, for us to use this Mercury energy to change, to make positive changes for the future. And also on Sunday, Mars will move out of Virgo and will shift into Libra. Mars in Libra he's in detriment, but Mars is in Libra does sort of encourage us to fight for fairness, to make changes that are fair, that are authentic, that are honest and aligned with who we really are. And then on August the 29th, Uranus in Taurus will move retrograde as well. So like I said, a lot going on. Now this week we have 3 piles. We have pile number 1, Strength, pile number 2, the Explorer, and pile number 3, Surrender. So take your time, feel into each pile, pick which one resonates with you, which one you feel is right for you, and I will see you in your reading.
Before we move into the readings, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I am working from today, the Kumbengi people, and I pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. I recognize their continued connection to the land and their culture, and that this is and always will be Aboriginal land.
Hello there, pile number 1. Welcome to your pick a card reading. You have chosen the card of Strength. So this card is a reminder that you may be going through some pretty big changes in your life. You may be going through, or things may be coming up for you. Like I said in the introduction, there is a lot going on astrologically, so it does not surprise me this card has come out. There is a lot of change, and there's a lot coming up for us. We have the Venus retrograde and the Mercury retrograde overlapping at this time. It is bringing up a lot of stuff for us personally from within. So things that we have been carrying with us, baggage, wounds, traumas, all that kind of stuff that we've been carrying probably for our whole lifetime, okay, is coming to the surface to be transmuted, to be healed and changed. So we're all, as a collective, shifting into new personalities, into new characters. We're all ascending. This time is a really powerful time with this retrograde energy. People who are resisting doing the work will stay stuck, will stay stagnant. But for other people, for the people who apply conscious awareness around everything they're doing, conscious awareness around what's coming up for them, there is a powerful opportunity to change, to make positive changes for your benefit. With the Strength card, it does require resilience. There is a need to tap into your reserves and tap into a sense of resilience to be able to make it through the storm, basically, is what this is talking about, making it through, weathering it through. But when we are being resilient, it's not just about having the strength to just sit and allow the circumstances to have their way with us, but resilience also requires a positive mindset and to know where you can make changes and where you can surrender. So that's something that can make a huge difference. If you're focusing your awareness on what you have control over and what you can change, and releasing any worries, any doubts, any anxieties, any fears around things that you have no control over, can really help at this time. We have the Three of Coins, the Five of Wands, and the Two of Coins. So of course, another way that we can foster resilience and we can create strength, an inner strength to move through difficult times, and probably the best way to do it is to tap into our reserves in other people. Three of Coins. So if you have other people that are resources to you, people that you can rely on, that you can trust, that can help you, that have your back, that you can lean on in difficult times, and vice versa, that people that can lean on you when times are tough for them as well. They're your resources to tap into this week, to make sure you don't neglect those connections. Those connections are really important if you for all of our well-being. Yeah, so connection and relationships are essential to feel a sense of well-being, and at this time there are people around you that are willing to step in, are willing to take some of the load, willing to help you. There are also people who aren't. Five of Wands, okay? So it's about being discerning about who you let in at this time as well, especially if you're doing some really deep personal transformative work, which is what's really possible at this time with the Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde. You could be transforming internally, and a lot of sort of ugliness, I guess you'd call it, the shadow side of yourself, of your soul, of your life could be coming up for you. And so remembering that whilst it's very important to be vulnerable and to allow other people to see that side of you, to be able to feel safe, to open up and let people see it, it's also really important to discern who you let see you vulnerable. You don't just let anybody see you vulnerable, because some people don't have your back. When the Five of Wands comes out, this may even be that somebody you thought had your back turns out that they don't. It can be people who are sneakily or secretly against you. They're secretly sabotaging you, usually from a place of jealousy, of envy. With the Five of Wands is what I'm really feeling for you. So if you've been feeling attacked or let down or betrayed by somebody in your life that you trusted, that's a reflection of them, right? Not of you. And so it may require some strength to move through that. Some inner reserves to be able to move through that with integrity. And the other thing with the Two of Coins, there could be a lot coming up in your life. I mean, there's a lot going on that you need to juggle. like I've already said that a few times now, a lot happening, but for you specifically, you feel like you're really juggling. And so maybe delegating to these people, the Three of Coins people that that are resources in your life, delegating some of your load, your workload, to help you get through it this week. So we have the King of Swords and the Devil, the Five of Cups, and the Empress card. We have the Page of Coins and the Two of Swords. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Coins. So the Knight of Coins is the card ruled by Virgo. Really, this Virgo energy, we know that's what's happening. We start Virgo season. We have a Mercury retrograde in Virgo. This is going to be allowing your mind. So what happens when we have a Mercury retrograde is that our thoughts slow down. So Mercury slows down, moves backwards, so do our thoughts. So our thoughts are more easily observable. King of Swords, we have more the opportunity to bring the unconscious into the conscious awareness. This is what the King of Swords does really well. He is really aware of all components of his mind. There isn't any unconscious programming running that he does not have an awareness around for the King of Swords. So this is what's coming up. This is what's possible. It's much easier to do when Mercury's in retrograde. It's also the reason why people who don't come to the table during a Mercury retrograde, who stay unconscious, who don't do the work, really struggle with miscommunications, with confusion. They feel confused, they feel chaotic inside, because what's coming to the surface is all those unconscious, subconscious programs that they're not willing to look at. So you have to be willing to look at it. You have to be willing to engage in it, to bring awareness around it, to bring some light around it, like the King of Swords would. There could be some sort of grief or loss. There is these two fives here. So again, yeah, there's conflict coming up. Okay, maybe this person, if you've been betrayed by someone, if that is what's happening for you, it will feel very painful. It may feel like you're losing a friend or a lover or someone very close to you that you thought you could trust, and that there's hurt around that. Or maybe this has happened in the past and it's coming up now for healing, because there's an ability to put new narrative around with the King of Swords, with Mercury retrograde, to put a new narrative around and to learn a different way, a way that's more successful. So with the Two of Coins and the Page of Coins, there's a more successful, there's a more efficient way of doing things. The Virgo energy is all about efficiency. The Virgo energy wants to create more efficiency. It wants to streamline everything. So there's a possibility to do that for you as well. Okay, we have the Hierophant, and the Lovers. So I do feel like there is this is a learning curve for you. So if you are having a lot of trouble, if you're struggling with these things coming out, if you need to engage and tap into those inner resources, it's for the purpose of your learning, it's for the purpose of your development. And so that's why it's difficult at this time, because maybe you don't have the skills yet, or maybe you don't have the knowledge yet or the information yet. The Lovers is ruled by Gemini. Gemini is the sign that looks for information, that gathers information. So it is an indicator that you need more information, the Hierophant as well. There's a need to learn more, maybe even learning about something in a structured way, or learning about something more spiritual, as a way to move through the situation that's coming up. We have the Six of Coins with the King of Swords, sorry. So this King of Swords could be somebody else. With the Three of Coins, it could be somebody like a King of Swords type person, somebody who's very intelligent, very self-aware, very switched on, wanting to come together with you, wanting to work with you, wanting to offer something with you, something in harmony. If that happens for you this week, I really like that for you. I definitely think they could be a resource for you to help you through this. If you are the King of Swords, if that's you, this is about just receiving what's coming up from the unconscious at this time. So both of these storylines could apply to you at the same time. But if there's stuff bubbling up from the unconscious, it's time to just be aware of it. So sit with it. Don't try and change it. Don't try and avoid it. Don't try and push it back down. That's not going to work with this Mercury retrograde. I mean, you can, but it will just end up in confusion, in chaos, in miscommunications, in arguments with people. That's the potential if you go unconscious at this time. So being conscious is a much stronger and more efficient way of doing things. It requires strength, but the rewards and the payoffs will be much better. We have the Five of Cups with the Knight of Coins. It may even be that you are making that move away from other people for your own betterment, for your own self-sufficiency. So maybe you're the one that's needing to detach, and maybe it's because there's gossip, there's drama, there's envy, there's jealousy. Maybe it's just not like, it's like just a yucky energy is what I'm feeling. Somewhere, like maybe at work or within a friendship circle, there's a yucky energy. And for you to shine, for you to really grow in the way you're supposed to grow at this time, for you to expand into the person that you're expanding into, because you are conscious, because you're doing this work, because you're coming into this energy, into this retrograde energy, and into this Virgo energy with a conscious awareness, you need to be really mindful of your energy and who you allow to influence it, is what I'm hearing. So if you just allow any people to influence you at this time, they are going to take away your resilience. They're going to take away your strength. They're going to, like empty your cup, so you'll have no reserves left. So it is a time to protect yourself, not protecting yourself because you're in danger, but protecting your energy, because what you align yourself with is what you become. Okay, so if you want to end up with this Nine of Coins energy, you have to let some things go. Possibly, most likely, some people need to not be a part of your life at this time, even if it's just for this week or into the foreseeable future. And we have the Two of Swords. I think there's two directions you can go in, and this is what you need to learn. Maybe you're making a decision, and that's why you're backing out of some toxic or unpleasant situations, so that you can have this clear mind. Because like I said, the Mercury retrograde, anyone who's not conscious, not dealing with it consciously, will feel really hectic. It's going to feel really hectic to be around them. They're going to feel really hectic. So to have clarity, which is the point to a Mercury retrograde, is to gain clarity. But to be able to do that, you kind of need to remove yourself from the people who are hectic in their energy. So it would be a good idea for you to take the time out to nurture yourself, to nourish yourself. When we are needing that inner strength, those inner resources, it's a really good time to nurture your body, to nurture your well-being. So sleep, food, rest, that kind of stuff, and to nurture your mind. So meditation is going to be crucial over the next few weeks with Mercury in retrograde to gain clarity. There's a lot of clarity and just clear-mindedness that's available to make decisions. But you need more information with that Page of Cups before you can make a clear decision, and you're not going to get that information if you're engaging in this toxicity. We have the Justice card with the Devil. So this could be a romantic situation. We've got the Lovers, the Three of Coins, Justice card, Justice ruled by Libra. Venus in retrograde has brought a lot of relationship stuff up for us over the last month or so, and will continue to do that, because it's all about hearts and love and romance and partnerships and relating to other people. So it could be a lover that we're talking about, or it could be relating to anyone, to be honest, because we've got, the Three of Coins, the Justice, and the Empress. So the very Venetian energy coming through in this part of the reading. How you relate to other people is what's important. And so what's coming up for you with the Mercury retrograde coming out of the subconscious mind is going to be places where you are feeling limited, some places where you have been manipulated even to that point. If there's people that have manipulated you in your life, people who have abused you even, that can come up. There may be something happens this week where justice is served, literally, and somebody might get their comeuppance. I love that with the retrograde energy, karma, karma coming back to bite people. So you may feel that might, I don't know why that's coming up, but maybe that's what's happening. Alternatively, the stuff that's coming up out of your unconscious is for clearing, for healing, for adjusting, for uplifting, is going to be around that kind of narrative anyway, where you've been abused by people. And so this cause and effect with the Justice card here, when we have that state, when we hold on to that kind of stuff and hold it in our body, in our being, it affects our state of being, it affects our point of attraction. So we want to make sure that we're clearing that out. We want to make sure we're doing the work to heal it, to uplift it, to put positive mindset around it, to whatever it takes for you to do that, so that it's not creating your point of attraction moving forward. And with the Empress card, we have the Moon. Very powerful time to do that, like subconscious work, that unconscious work. Like I've said it quite a few times. Definitely go and watch the Mercury retrograde video. It talks about how to do that, how to actually go into the unconscious, how to reprogram yourself, how to figure this all out, what's coming up for you. There may be things coming up even out of the oblivion that you're not even aware of. You might have been like, where did that even come from? You might have a reaction or a response that shocks you or surprises you. We are moving towards a full moon in Pisces. Okay, so that's on the 31st. So for the last part of this week that this reading covers, so like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're moving into that full moon energy. It will be a powerful full moon opposing all this Mercury retrograde energy. So I'll talk about that next week. But for this purpose of this reading, just knowing that as we're moving into the end of this week, that full moon energy is going to ask you to release a lot of emotional resistance. A lot of emotion can come up for you. And it's a good thing. If emotions come up for you, it's good because it's showing you what needs to be done, what work to be done. So just being with the Empress card, just being with those emotions, not avoiding them. Like I said, using your inner strength, using your resilience and your resources to be with those emotions. We've got the Ace of Coins with the Two of Swords. Two of Swords. Oh, I didn't notice that. Double Two of Swords. So yeah, I think there is a big decision here. This is interesting. We've got double Two of Swords and we've got the Ace of Coins and then the Two of Coins with the Page of Coins. So there is something in your life that's shifting. There's a new direction that's coming up for you and you're having to make that decision. And maybe this week is the time when maybe you have a deadline and you're needing to make that decision. The Ten of Wands on the bottom of the deck, it may be a decision about how you can, like I said, streamline your life to make it more efficient, to get more energy. I don't know why I'm feeling that for you, but it's like you're burnt out almost. And so something needs to change so that you have more resources, you have more energy moving forward in life, because if you keep running on empty, you're never going to get anywhere. So a decision to make, to do something new, to try something new, to go in a new direction, and like I said before, to be able to make that decision for yourself, to be able to choose, you need clarity, you need a clear mind. Use this Mercury retrograde. Even if all you do in this Mercury retrograde is clear your head, meditate, and not even meditate on the situation, not even meditating for the purpose of getting answers, but just meditating for the whole sole purpose of clearing your mind. If you do that for long enough, you will uplift your energy, your physical energy, but also you'll have a clear mind, and then the decisions will be easy. I think that these people need to not have anything to do with the decisions. I think you need to take your time out and remove yourself from everybody. Don't ask anyone else about their opinion. Trust yourself. Trust that you have the strength to make this decision. Okay. And if you can't make it on your own, you may need more information, so you may need to ask other people for information. And if there's other people that are involved in the decision, they may need to have their input too. But for the most part, you need to clear your mind of everybody else's crap so that you can make your own decision for yourself. And once you've done that, I think it will come easily for you. Okay, so that is your reading for this week. I hope this was beneficial for you. I do really appreciate your time here with me. Thank you for being here, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. That really helps me. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a really beautiful week. Hello there, pile number 2. Welcome to your pick a card reading. You have chosen the card of the Explorer. This card, when it comes out, is very interesting because it requires us to come from a place of observation. So you're actually learning. You're learning about things, about yourself, about your environment, about other people, but it's from a very curious perspective. So it requires a lot of curiosity and being open to newness, open to new things. So exploration is a combination of freedom, seeking out freedom, and also learning new things. So I think there's a really positive attitude to move into this week with, and move through this week with all the cosmic energy, with the Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, Virgo season, Mars in Libra. There's a lot of shifts, a lot going on. We also have Mars making a trine with Pluto, so that's going to bring some pretty intense changes as well. So if you can tap into this explorer energy and be more curious about what comes up, you're learning, you're interested, so that it just brings a lightness to it. It brings a lightness to whatever comes up for you at this time, where it's actually an adventure rather than anything that is scary or anything that can affect you in a negative way. Creating that adventure, even just if you're just at home and you're just doing your normal everyday life, exploring your experience, exploring your environment. With the Mercury retrograde and the Venus retrograde overlapping the way they are, we're doing this really deep in personal work on the inside. So exploring your internal environment, exploring what comes up from the unconscious at this time is going to be a crucial way to make improvements, to adapt, to engage in the energy. So if you can keep it in mind that you're exploring, it makes it less scary, especially when we're dealing with the subconscious mind. A lot of scary things can come up from out of the shadow. But just remember, you're just an explorer. You're just exploring what it all means and creating new meaning around that. So we have the Nine of Cups. We have the Justice card. And we have the Ace of Swords. I love it when the Nine of Cups comes out because it is a wish fulfillment card. It's a card that tells you that whatever it is that you want can be yours. So you can make a wish this week. You can choose a new direction. You can choose desires to work on, to bring into your life. They will be delivered. And this Justice card, this is about cause and effect. So it's about making sure that you're in alignment with everything that you desire, okay? So bringing this clarity around your alignment, around your vibration, because so that's what this Mercury retrograde is all about, really. Is about making improvements on the unconscious level so that you can be a vibrational match to the future self, to the future life that you want to create. Because if we continue to engage with life with the same belief systems, with the same thought processes, thought habits, with the same attitude, the same mindset, we then have the same actions and the results are the same and our life stays the same. So that's what needs to change at this time. This is what the Mercury retrograde is here to change. We actually think like 60,000 thoughts every day, roughly 60,000 thoughts every day, and scientists say that 95% of those thoughts are the same thoughts we thought the day before. So we're on autopilot most of the time, on this repeat, this loop, and so that's why our lives don't really seem to make much change, much of a shift very often. It takes deliberate focus and deliberate awareness to change that loop. And that's what's possible for you here. You can have this new insight, new clarity, a new idea even. It could just be one new idea or one new conversation that comes in I like this Justice card here for you with Mars. Mars on the 27th, on Sunday, will move into Libra. Is bringing up Libra energy, and then at the end of next month we'll move into Libra season. So Mars is starting that way, is paving the way towards Libra season. So in October could be a very good month for you, and you're starting that work now with your alignment, with getting curious, with exploring what that means, exploring what your desires are that you want for your life. We have the Devil and the Two of Wands. We have the Chariot, Ten of Wands, Seven of Wands, and the Three of Coins. On the bottom of the deck, you have the King of Cups. Tending to your emotional environment is going to be really important. Making sure you're following your emotional guidance system at this time can be quite challenging to do that when we're talking about our desires, because we can have a lot of limiting beliefs, the devil, that block us from really understanding what our emotions are trying to tell us. So this is something to be aware of, particularly with Mercury in retrograde. There may be a tendency to rely more heavily on your mind. But remember, we've been doing this work with our heart space, with Venus, the Venus retrograde in Leo for quite a while now, and has been really plugging us into our heart space. It's been hard to avoid that work. So we're looking at you now, as we move into this Mercury retrograde, we're looking at blending the head and the heart. That's the next part of this journey. So things may come up for you this week around what you are holding, what you're storing in your body, in your subconscious mind, limiting beliefs, limiting unconscious processes that are blocking you from reaching your desires, that are blocking you from achieving the goals that you have set for yourself, the life that you want to live for yourself, the vision that you have for your future. That's what could be bubbling to the surface through your emotions, through the events and the responses you have to the events in your life this week. And remembering to use that explorer energy when these things come up, to make curious, make open. The ticket is freedom. We're going for freedom here. Freedom from yourself. Freedom from what is limiting you within, the devil, okay? So there's this ability to free your mind and your heart at this time, this week. We have the Justice. So we've got double Justice here. And Page of Cups. So there's that heart energy, heart opening energy. So everything you've been doing with the Venus retrograde, with Leo season, this is the next layer, like I said. You're applying this new perspective. So you've done the heart opening work. Hopefully you've done the heart opening work. You've allowed your heart to take the lead. You've been listening to your heart, and now it's time to explore what that means in real life, in the real world, in real time. Applying some reinforcement thought processes, thought habits around those emotions, around those desires that are coming from your heart space. Because what you put out, you receive back. Okay, and it's really important that we're in alignment with our truth, that we're really honest with ourselves. So when we have desires, something that's important to remember, we can have false ego desires, and we can have true authentic desires. So there's these two types of desires. Neither of them, like the false ego desires, aren't necessarily bad. And sometimes it's good to follow those desires because they do create a momentum for us. But false ego desires really come from a space of fear. They come from wanting to move out of something that's uncomfortable, feeling like having a negative experience and wanting to escape from that negative experience. And so we have these desires that come from that space of trying to get away. And then we have true authentic desires. They come from a space of joy. So when we see something and it brings us joy and we want to move towards it. So false ego desires are moving away from negativity. True authentic desires are moving towards positivity. So what we're looking at is what's keeping you stuck in that false ego desire cycle, because that becomes a cycle, right? Because you move out. Say, for example, I'll give you a really simple example. Say you want a new job because you don't like your job. That's a desire because you don't like your job. You're not moving towards a passionate career, okay, that would be a true authentic desire. You are, completely in love with fashion and you want a job in fashion because it gives you so much joy to create clothing, and so you lose yourself in that. When you're doing that work, you lose yourself in it, you lose time in it. That's an authentic desire. But if you're just looking for a new job because you don't like the job you're in, that is an improvement. A new job would be an improvement. It would help to make a shift, but it's not moving towards something more positive. It's moving away from something negative. That's what I'm talking about. So that can be a cycle that we get trapped in. We get into the new job. It's okay for a while. Then it becomes not okay. Then we want another new job, because we're not actually fulfilling that authentic need. We're just continually moving away from unpleasant experiences, from unpleasant pain, and we take ourselves with us wherever we go. And so we recreate the same situation in the new job. It's a new job, different faces, different names, but same feeling, same experience, because we're still taking these limiting processes. The devil stuff is coming with us. So that was a really long-winded way of telling you something in a short reading. Sorry about that. But something for you to just explore at this time, something to ponder at this time, because that's really what's coming up with this Nine of Cups, Page of Swords. Being honest. There's a need to be really honest, have really honest conversations with yourself. So anything that comes to the surface out of your unconscious mind, explore that. Be honest. Page of Swords, Justice cards, all about being honest with ourselves and honest with other people. We need to get honest about you need to get honest about what your desires are, using your emotional guidance system to guide that, to make those decisions for yourself. You'll be able to feel into them. Are you feeling overwhelming joy and creativity and passion by this idea that you've had, or are you feeling like it's just going to relieve you? It's going to be a relief. Okay. We have the Hierophant with the Chariot. So when you align with your authentic, honest self, when you are honest and you create this honesty around your desires, and like I said, even if you are just looking for relief, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, be honest with what your motives are. Be honest with what you're trying to do, and actually start looking okay, I'm doing this for now, but I'm looking for this feeling. This is the feeling I want. When you start doing that, when you step forward with courage, with confidence into the unknown, the source energy will meet you halfway. So anything you put out, source will give you that back. So every step you take, source is taking a step towards you. So remembering what you're trying to achieve. We have the Five of Cups. So there could be blockages as well coming up in where you've had to defend yourself. So these desires, authentic desires, maybe you had to defend them. Maybe somebody made you feel like crap about wanting those things or having those desires, or maybe, there was societal expectations around it. So like, for example, if you're a man and you want to be a dancer, there could be like a stigma around men aren't, masculine men don't dance, that kind of stuff, So those kinds of things can really they get into our subconscious as children, and they block us from achieving these dreams when really all we want to do is dance. And so you'll notice that coming up, that kind of stuff will come up for you this week, and there'll be a sense of loss and sense of grief around it if that's the case for you. Like I said, again, bringing that conscious awareness, Ace of Swords, to it. So just when it comes up, just going, okay, I see this coming up. What is this? I'm curious. I'm going to explore this further, and allowing it to be, and being honest with it. Being honest, like, okay, actually, hang on. I really like dancing. You don't have to tell other people. This can be an internal, personal process. There's no need to include anybody else, although I think that once you start to get honest with yourself, the people that resonate on that level, on the same level, will come in. Three of Coins. Once you start to accept those parts of yourself, then you just sort of naturally find people that feel the same way, that are interested in the same things. They kind of come to you. Okay, and we have the Eight of Swords with this Two of Wands. Yeah, this is a really similar message. I've kind of already covered this. It's that vision that you have for your life, for your future, that you're not really seeing it with the Eight of Swords, sorry, you're blindfolded from being able to see it, because there's all these swords that are blocking you from being honest with yourself, being true to yourself, being seeing it clearly. Those layers of, it could even just be those like societal layers, like I said, men don't dance, that kind of stigma, that's, you know, these ridiculous things that come from just being a part of being engaging in society. Yeah, so those kinds of things are what you're exploring at this time through your emotional guidance system, through your heart space and your mind. The Page of Wands. There's a lot of messages coming out here. So we've got the Page of Cups, the Page of Swords, the Page of Wands. Maybe people are coming to you and they're bringing this to your awareness. Maybe there are a lot of people involved. They don't have to be, but the messages could also not be people. It could be emotional messages, inspiring messages. It could be thoughts, ideas. So things are coming up. There's so much coming up for you this week. It could be like, so it's really important that you stay curious and you stay open and you stay conscious at this week, because if a lot's coming up and you get overwhelmed and you shut down, this work will be harder to do. Although you can, if you do shut down, that's okay. Just make sure it's only for a short period, and then you pick yourself back up and do it again. That's what I'm saying. So if you're feeling very overwhelmed, if you're feeling, just overwhelmed, I feel with this Ten of Wands as well, there could be like a bitterness coming in. I feel that this bitterness, or there has been bitterness in the past, and this is being sort of uplifted out of you with the Page of Wands. I feel like there's like a fire burning within that has been ignited, or that will be ignited to burn out that bitterness around not being able to fully express yourself in the way that you want to fully express yourself. That Leo energy was all about expressing ourselves, expressing our authenticity. And because we're at the end of it, we're moving into Virgo season, but that sometimes that happens when we're traveling through a transit and then it ends and we move into the next one, and that's when it all happens, all manifests in our life. So that could be the case for you, part number 2, that this is now the time when all that Leo energy makes sense in your life in the real time. It's time to really start expressing yourself in whatever creative way is required. And we've got the Six of Wands with the Three of Coins here. Like I said, once you are being authentic, the people that are in alignment with that, you'll start finding people, you'll start meeting people that feel the same way, that are interested in the same things, that appreciate you for who you are, for what you have to offer. And you'll sort of drift away from the people who carry those stigmas, who believe in that you shouldn't be doing these things. It's a simple, it's a decision, and there's like a mindset to be put around that. There's a lot of work for you to go on with here, but staying open, still staying curious, exploring it all, and you will be okay. That's what this Mercury retrograde is here for. So go watch my Mercury retrograde video and have like a really beautiful week. Enjoy this week, enjoy these things coming up. This is you, this is who you are, and this is your evolution. So that's your reading for today. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. That really helps me. And I will see you next week. Take care. Hello there, part number 3. Welcome to your pick a card reading. You have chosen the card Surrender. This is a really beautiful card to go into this week with, because of all the heightened cosmic energy that I was talking about in the introduction. There's a lot going on, a lot of shifts and changes. There's a lot of work to be done at this time. Personal growth and development. We're in a period of immense growth. I do feel drawn to August the 25th on Friday. Mars will make a trine with Pluto. So that energy is very, very transformative. It's very like death and rebirth energy, but a really positive death rebirth with the trine energy. It's for the purpose of creating more harmony, for creating more ease in your life. But there may be this need to surrender to it. Okay, so if you're in resistance, there is a need to let go and surrender, because the problem is when what we resist persists. So oftentimes when things are changing, or when things are uneasy, or when things are not the way that we want them to be, let's use that example. If something in your life is happening and you cannot control it, you cannot stop it, you cannot change it, because it involves other people, or it involves the government or the society or whatever, for whatever reason, you can't control it. and you don't like it, the more that you focus on the problem, the more you focus on the situation, the more that you focus on not liking it, not wanting it in your life, the more resistance you hold. You'll feel that in your body if you think about it. If you go in and feel into this, into what I'm talking about, into this situation, you can feel the resistance in your body. There is the most beautiful, like surrendering is the most beautiful feeling in the world. I promise you that. When you finally get to a point where you're like, look, this is just how it is, and just that acceptance is such a powerful feeling, and it changes everything. We feel like we can't do it. We feel like we have to resist because of injustice or how unfair it is, or the other person shouldn't get away with that, or, you know, but it's the same with forgiveness. It's the same sort of feeling as forgiveness. You know, we feel like we shouldn't, that person gets away with it if we forgive, but in actual fact, it's such a relief when you finally do forgive, when you finally do surrender. You relieve yourself, you relieve your body, you relieve your mind, you relieve your experience. Your experience can uplift, can transmutate into something so much more pleasant for you when you finally release any resistance and surrender. And the paradox here is that when we do surrender and we release that resistance, we're finally free to move forward. We're finally free to move out of that situation. We free up energy, and we free up the cosmic forces to be able to deliver us what we were trying to achieve in the first place. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups, the Six of Coins, and the Eight of Cups. Yeah. All surrendering cards of the tarot, surrendering energy. So this is freeing your heart space. So this Venus retrograde has been happening since July the 23rd. It will go until September 4th in Leo. I've done a separate video on it. Highly recommend you go and watch it. It's about opening your heart space, surrendering to the heart, allowing your heart to take the lead, surrendering to what your heart wants for you, the Ace of Cups, opening up to that heart space, okay? So when we are in resistance within our heart space, our heart is closed off. We have defense mechanisms, we have walls around it, we have all these protective processes. But the problem with it is that when the heart cannot be fully opened and cannot be, like, energy is not moving through our heart, when the energy is not flowing there, we have no capacity to be creative. We have no capacity to feel love, to feel joy, to feel passion, to feel enthusiasm. We lose all the capacity to feel any pleasant or positive emotions. And we also lose the capacity to be able to manifest and create a reality that matches those pleasant emotions. So if there's something, so for example, if there was something that happened to you that was an injustice, surrendering those defense mechanisms and surrendering that anger and bitterness within the heart, it can feel like, but if I do that, then that person or that event gets away with it. But when you actually do the process, you realize how much you were suffering by holding on to that. So the Six of Coins is releasing and dropping into receptivity when we surrender. Instead of taking action, instead of trying to push our way through life, we open ourselves up to receive. This is how you start to receive back what you want, by dropping into that receptive mode. Now with the Eight of Cups, there may be something you need to walk away from. You may have to surrender a person or a situation or an event this week and walk away. And you may have to do that for your highest good, and for maybe their highest good as well. It could be a struggle. It could be difficult for you to do this. But like I said, once you've made that decision to walk away, to move away, or somebody else is moving away from you, something's moving away from you, and there's a need to surrender that, the grip that you have on that. It will feel better once you come to that realization, come to that emotional mode. So no one can do that for you. That's a choice. You don't have to do it, but the cards are telling you that that's how you uplift your life this week. We have the Lovers. We have the Two of Cups, the Queen of Coins, and the World. we have the the Six of Wands and the Five of Wands. Interesting. And the Four of Swords. So much information coming through. I'm going to try my best to tell you it all without forgetting it. But this line here, there is no doubt that this is involving a love, an intimate connection, right? Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, lovers. There's like, I can't dispute that. There's a person in your life, there's a relationship, there's a person coming into your life, past, present, or future, involved in this situation. This is really beautiful. I really love it for you, okay? The surrender card may be that you need to surrender to this relationship. It may be that you're resisting the relationship for whatever reason. Maybe there's toxic patterns that you are worried about. Maybe you have been hurt before and you don't want to give your heart over, or maybe there's I don't know, whatever like it's going to be different for everybody, right? But this is here for you because this is in alignment with the Two of Cups. That is two people who are perfect for each other. The lovers, this is a soulmate union. Even if it doesn't last forever, this person is perfect for you right now. And it's time to surrender yourself to them. Not to the person, but to the love, to opening your heart to it, to accepting it, to embracing it, to letting it in. Letting yourself become the person you're supposed to be. I feel like for you, the journey is to become this partner, to become partnership, to move into connection, to receive all of the benefits that you get from that. So when we're in connection with people, when we're in a partnership, there's like 3 different modes we can be in. We can be codependent, we can be interdependent, we can be interdependent. Independent, interdependent. So most people are codependent. A lot of people can be independent. It's very hard, or it's very uncommon for people to be interdependent. But those relationships that you look at and you're like, they have the most amazing relationship, I want that. They're the interdependent people, right? So that's the goal. The goal is to be interdependent. And the way that we do that is we have to fill our own cup. We have to nourish our own selves. We have to be our own vessel. We have to be able to meet our own needs, but also being completely open to receiving that other person as well, and being able to meet that other person's needs. So there's like this really fluid energy transfer that happens in these relationships. Both people, but in the party, that they both need to be on that same wavelength. They both need to be doing that, filling their own cups, filling their own needs. I feel like for you, this is this time when you're stepping into that chapter, this new chapter of your life where you are in that space. You're moving into that space. You're literally walking away from people who don't meet you on that level. So you need to uphold that level. If there isn't anybody in your life, or if there's somebody toxic in your life, it's about upholding that level within yourself so that you can be a match to that. And I think that's what's happening here with the Five of Wands. Anybody who wants to compete with you or bring you down or wants to, is jealous or envious of you, they're going to be eliminated at this time. They're not part of your future. Your future is to be in complete self-validation, to be validated and recognized, to have recognition for your beauty, for your power, for everything that you are as a person. This person coming in, or this person you're relating with, recognizes that in you. So there is the Four of Swords on the bottom of the deck as well, and this surrender card is about letting go with the Six of Coins and just being that. So there's nothing you need to do here. There's no work you need to do on yourself. There's nothing. It's just, you just need to let it be, let it happen. Contemplate what this all means for you, what I'm talking about, what it will mean for you, how you can do it in the best way that you can do it. But really, it's all here. It's all been done. All the work's been done. It's all been lined up. It's all ready to pop into your reality. And you just need to be and allow it to happen. We have the Four of Wands and, we got 2 here. We got the 10 of Wands with the Page of Coins. So the Four of Wands, this could be a marriage. This could be, literally could be the person you spend the rest of your life with. If they're coming into your life this week, wow, that's amazing. Or they're already in your life. This is stepping into that next level with them, with that person. if there is nobody in your life, this is about being that person while you wait, we're not waiting for people to come to us, but making sure that you are the person that you want to receive. I think that's something that we really forget when we're single, is that we have to be what we're looking for. We have to be able to, if you want somebody who's supportive, you need to be supportive. If you want somebody who always has your back, you need to always have other people's back. If you want to be with somebody who loves you unconditionally, you need to love unconditionally. Like, if you, there's so many examples, but yeah, you get the point, is that if you're single and there isn't anybody in your life and they're not coming in, this is about working on that space, working on that state of being. Because we've got that Mercury retrograde, we've got that Venus retrograde. It's not surprising to me that this would come in with the Venus retrograde, especially in the position it's in now. And with the Mercury retrograde, it's about aligning your whole state of being, your mind, your emotions, your actions, your beliefs, your behaviors. All of those will be coming into complete alignment with this manifesting in your life, with the person you would have to be. So when you think about who you are in that relationship in the future, you're bringing that person into the now, being it in the now, so that it can be real. We have the Empress, with the Lovers. That's that Venus energy, the Venus retrograde energy. It's just the divine feminine aspect of it. It's the really creative energy. You're creating this, like I just said, you're creating this from the inside out. Surrender to it. Surrender to the creative potential. Here's very powerful reading, pile number 3. You're in a very powerful time at this time. So surrendering to it, allowing it to be, allowing it to come into your life. You have the 9 of Coins with the Queen of Coins. Like I said, to be in that interdependent space, you need to be filling your own cup, which means you need to be meeting your own needs. So whatever you need from a partner, whatever you need in your life, it's important that you're meeting those needs. We're not seeking it externally. We're not seeking it from other people. We're not entering into a relationship in hopes that they're going to fill us up. You're completely whole and complete and full on your own. And then this person who is also completely whole and complete and full on their own comes into your life, and you decide to come together as a union, to unite, and you create a third component, which is even bigger than both of you together and is so much more amazing than either of you could create individually. That is also complete and whole on its own, right? So stepping into that space of being a complete and whole person is the lesson here for you, is the work here, if there is any work here to be done. And that's what the Mercury retrograde will be about for you. So we have the Knight of Cups with the 6 of Wands. If there isn't anybody yet, there's somebody coming to offer you love, somebody who really recognizes you, recognizes and appreciates what you have to offer. They're ready to offer you something. They're ready to have a heartfelt communication, heartfelt conversation with you, to connect their heart with you. We have the Queen of Coins, double Queen of Coins here. This is the person, like I said, this is the person that is going to be in that relationship. The Queen of Coins has her needs completely met. All of her physical resources, all of her physical needs are completely met. She has no worry. She completely trusts in the flow of the universe. She completely trusts in abundance, in creation, in everything that so she doesn't worry about anything coming in. So there's no insecurity. Okay, so that's the word. That's the word they want you to know. Insecurity. The Queen of Coins is completely secure in herself, in her environment, in her abilities, in her life. So when you are completely secure, when you are not feeling this jadedness, when you've learned to overcome jadedness or bitterness or a sense of lack, when you overcome that and you come in complete alignment of security, a complete sense of self within your heart space, that's when you're ready for another person to come in. So if you are single, then it's surrendering to being your own vessel, to being completely filled up with your own love, your own, and meet your own needs and be secure in that space, being secure as that person, so that you attract somebody else who's the same. The Emperor. So that you attract the Emperor. Look at this. The Empress with the Lovers, the Emperor with the World. These are divine counterparts. It just it doesn't get better than this. Like, this is a divine counterpart coming in. It's going to be a brand new chapter. Of course, it's going to be a new chapter. So, like, for example, if you've been single for a long time and you're going to be married, you're going to be in this relationship for the rest of your life. This is that's what the world represents. The world represents a turning over of life, a culmination, and moving into the next chapter of your life. This is that marriage energy. This person coming in, this counterpart coming in, will be the new chapter of your life. It's very powerful, very beautiful. Surrendering to that new chapter. A lot will have to change, right? You'll have to change a lot to be in that, to be in a partnership. And we have the Eight of Swords with the Five of Wands. Just a little message of just being careful. So if you are single and this isn't resonating with you, then just being a little bit careful about being jealousy of other people in relationships. Like if you walk down the street and you see people that are in a happy relationship, like recognizing what emotional response you have to that. Are you jealous of those people? Because that jealousy, that envy will keep you separated from having it in your life. Or are you completely happy for those people? Can you completely 100% with 100% certainty say that your heart is full of love when you see those people in love together, you know? Also, just being aware of other people doing that to you, other people putting that jealousy on you, because that's what kind of keeps us trapped in these illusions. Eight of Swords. Yeah. Okay, that is your reading for this week. I'm really excited for you. Please leave a comment if this has happened for you. I'd love to hear about it. This is beautiful. Yeah, so enjoy your week. Have a really beautiful, love-filled week. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you for your time. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. And I will see you next week. Take care.